What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Halloween just passed. I hope I scared you a little bit. Today we're going to be cooking some fall recipe. We're going to be making some shepherd's pie. It's a good meal. It's a good recipe if you went hunting, you got some venison you need to use up, and ground beef, any type of meat like that works pretty good. Got some leftover vegetables. It's a pretty simple recipe. Hope you enjoy. Alright, so step one, we're going to saute off our hamburger. I'm going to put some olive oil in the pan. Got the pan going on high heat. A little seasoning. Salt and pepper. Now this recipe I'm making a pretty massive amount, so you probably want to just cut it in half. This is 3 pounds of beef here. You got another about 2 pounds here. Generous amount of salt and pepper. And saute this bad boy up. Alright, second step, while we let our meat saute and get all them flavors, we're going to put in our potatoes. I got some nice russet potatoes that I quartered. You can cut them smaller. It depends on how fast you want it to cook. They're going right into some cold water, and then we're going to bring it to a boil. And once it boils, we're going to set a timer for 8 minutes, and we'll check them to see if they're fork tender. Alright, in a separate pot, we're going to heat up the milk and butter for our mashed potatoes. Depending on how much you made, I did about 5 pounds of potatoes. So I'm going to do about 3 cups of milk, and I'm going to do a whole stick of butter. And we'll just slowly bring that up to temperature. You want it just under boiling. Alright, our potatoes are done. It's been about 10 minutes. We're going to bring them over. We're going to strain them in the sink. And how you check them? I already checked them, but just take a fork. Goes right through. They're done. And boom, look at that, all cooked and ready to go, full of grease. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to dump out all the grease and just set the meat aside and let it cool down. Alright, so now that they've been draining for a minute or two, we're going to put it right back in that same pan or pot, and then we're going to mash them up. Little bugger got on the floor there, and we'll get him later. Alright, now I'm not no fancy person. I don't have no mixer, ricer, all that kind of good stuff. I got a fork and a whisk, so that's what we're going to use. So we're slowly going to add this milk mixture that's been heating up. It's nice and hot. I didn't bring it to a boil because we don't want it to boil. Just want it nice and warm so it doesn't ruin the temperature of our potatoes. So you just add a little bit at a time. Let me get my whisk out here. It's going to be probably a little difficult doing one-handed, but we'll see how that goes. Look at this. We don't need no fancy tool to do this. Need a little more. Now if you add too much, I don't know what to tell you, but that's why you go in little portions at a time. I mean, you might even need more than what we have. So it's always better to add more than to need to take out some. Alright, I'll keep doing this and I'll let you know how it turns out. Alright, ladies and gents, we are back. Look at these beautiful mashed potatoes. Now I added probably, I want to say 3/4 of that milk and butter mixture. And so now we've got the nice consistency. I'm going to add some seasoning, just salt and pepper to taste. Mashed potatoes tends to take a lot of salt. Get that nice incorporated. Now at this time, if you wanted to add some cheese to it, or your sour cream, whatever your heart desires, now would be the time to do that. Alright, so let's give it a taste test and see what we need. A little more salt and pepper. And it is perfect. Alright, so we'll just set this aside. Alright, so using the same pan that we just cooked all that meat in, I'm going to cook the vegetables in it. We're going to put some more olive oil in here. Bring it up to medium-high heat. Alright, so first I'm going to add about 3 cups of white onion and 3 tablespoons of garlic. And we're trying not to burn the onions and garlic, so if you need to adjust your heat, it'll be okay. Take about 5 minutes to do this. Alright, so our onions and garlic are where we want them to be. And now what we're going to do, we're going to start adding the dry spices. First I got a teaspoon of rosemary. Got a teaspoon of dried thyme. Got a teaspoon of oregano. And then to that I've got 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. And we're just going to saute this on medium heat for about just a couple minutes, just to get the aromatics going. And you start to smell all the beautiful spices we just put in there. Alright, so to that we're going to add about a 1/4 cup of red wine. And just cook this off, cook the alcohol off for a minute or two. The red wine doesn't matter what type it is, just any red wine is fine. I just stick with like the cheap brand. Just for cooking, you're not drinking it, so. Alright, to that we're going to add 3 tablespoons of butter. It's melted down. And so to the butter, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of flour. This is where we're making a roux so that we can thicken up our gravy. And we're just going to cook this for just a couple minutes. Just want to make sure we get that flour nice and coated in all that fat so it doesn't burn. It's looking pretty good. Now we're going to boost up the flavor with some beef stock. Going to add about 2 cups of this. And we're going to bring this back to a boil. That'll help activate that roux we just made. Alright, we're just going to speed it up. You see me adding some Worcestershire here, a little stock water to thin it out. I'm going to adjust the seasoning, and then we're going to move to the next step. So for all you mushroom lovers, now would be a good time to add in some mushrooms. People I'm cooking for don't really care for mushrooms. So I'm going to put, this is about 2 cups of canned tomatoes. I did drain them. And then for our vegetable, I just got a little frozen bag of vegetables that I had laying around, so we're going to use that up. So all them bad boys in there. Join the party. Looking pretty tasty. And we're just going to heat this up for a couple minutes, not too long. Now you could add whatever kind of vegetables you like to this. You got peppers, squash, whatever you want to add in here. Just this is one of those recipes that's like, I need to clean out my refrigerator, so we're gonna just throw it all in the pot. This is basically one of those kind of recipes. Alright, last but not least, we are going to add our meat mixture, our meat back in now. It's drained, it's cooled down, it's ready to go. Now, like I was saying before, you could add, venison, just ground beef, ground turkey is another good option if you want to go healthier. And also, if you do, you can also do a little like sausage and ground beef if you wanted to, or veal and regular ground beef. That works as well. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to fit this all in here. I might have to put it in something else. Looking pretty good, huh? And you want it kind of on the thicker side. You don't want no watery gravy. Nobody likes that stuff. Alright, I'm just going to keep mixing this stuff and then I'll get back to you. Alright, it's nice and mixed up. We're going to do one more taste test and see if it tastes good. Yep. Use a little more salt and pepper. Let's mix that up. What do you guys think? Does that look pretty good? Does it make you hungry? Too bad you can't smell it. It smells great in here. Alright, so we're going to start plating this up now. Alright, we're going to start plating this up. I got a 9x11 glass pan that I lightly greased. First, we're going to put down the beef mixture. Yes, this is an excessive amount, but I'm making other pans of it. So, we want about half and half of potatoes and meat mixture. Let's say that's pretty good. Alright, now we're going to add the potatoes to it. This works better if it cooled down a little bit. The mixture and the potatoes. You don't really want to do it right when they come right off the stove. Okay, nice corner to corner. Nice big layer of potatoes. looks good there. Alright, now we'll get a little fancy. We're going to draw some lines on here. The fork. In the oven, these nice little peaks that this is making will get nice and crispy and taste great. So now around the edge, this is my fancy pastry bag, just a Ziploc bag, and cut the corner off. I'm going to go ahead and make some dollops all around it. Alright, and the last step, we're going to take some parmesan. We're going to sprinkle it all over this bad boy. As much and as little as you want. Alright, and I got my oven set to 350. We're going to go ahead and throw that right in. Ignore my cat. He wants food. Alright. And then we're going to set it for about 20 minutes and it'll be good to go. Alright guys, it's been about 20 minutes. We're going to check on this. What we're going to do is we're going to check the internal temperature. Make sure it's about over 165. Oh yeah, we're cooking. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to turn it on broil. We're going to broil it for about 5 minutes, get a nice crust. Turn it off, we're going to broil. Alright. Alright, let's take this bad boy out. Try not to burn our fingers off. Doesn't that look magical? If you guys watch enough of my videos, you can make it just like that. And we're going to top this bad boy off with some fresh parsley. And there we go. Alright, here we go. This side looks pretty good. Look at that. That looked great. Make sure we get more of this good stuff here. And we're going to put some more cheese. Who doesn't like cheese? Make it rain. There we go. Bam! I know you guys are hungry. Look at that. Bet you wish you could be eating some of this stuff. Alright guys, thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Please subscribe and share my videos. Thanks.